Today I'm going to show you my latest original design, the Accordion Braid. This is a hard bracelet. It only requires one bar pin to make, but every single band used in it is capped, so that can make it difficult. And it may take between 45 minutes and an hour to make, and it's a very tight bracelet. There's a whole lot of tension, so you definitely want to make sure that you make it long enough to go all the way around your wrist comfortably without squeezing your wrist. Also, you can go a lot of different ways with the color scheme. You can have just the two alternating colors like I have in this bracelet. I'll be showing you how to make this one in the video. And you can also do rainbow, and you could as well do non-alternating colors if you wanted to. Make sure to be creative with your color schemes. And you also have, as a background, you can have like white and gray as it is in this bracelet, or black and white, or whatever colors you want. And in this bracelet, they're both the same color. They're both gray. So you could do that if you want a solid background. So without any further ado, here is the Accordion Braid Bracelet. This bracelet is made on just one bar pin. So to get started, you're just going to need your bar pin and your hook, and you're going to pick out which color bands you're going to use. So these first ones that we place on here, I'm going to use a orange and a black. They are going to end up being the colors that are the rainbow colors in this bracelet. So whichever colors you want to use for that, place them now. And what you're going to do is take a cap band, place it across these two pegs, and then take your other color, cap band here, and now this next band is going to be the black band in this bracelet. It's going to be along the outside edge, so choose which color you want to use as your outside edge. I'm going to use white, and you're going to take it and cap it like the other ones, and just place it on this center peg here. Now what you're going to do is, taking your hook, go through this band, this top cap band, grab the one on the right, it should be on top, and pull it through and back to itself. And you're going to do that same thing with the black band. Go inside this center band, and you're going to pull this band out and back to itself. Now you're going to do that same thing again, except if you want your color scheme to be like this, have that alternating thing, this time you're going to start on these two pegs again with your cap band, except use the other color, or if you're doing a rainbow or tie-dye, whichever color is next in your sequence. So you're just going to place that right on top like so, and then place another cap band on these two pegs as before. And now you're going to place another one of your bands that will be along the outer edge. You're just going to cap that and place it on the center peg. And now we're going to do the same thing that we did with the first set of bands. You're going to go inside this one that's on the top, grab the second band from the top, pull it through this top cap band, and hold it on with your fingers just to make sure that it doesn't come off, and then place it across this peg back to itself, and do the same thing with this orange. Pull it up and through and back to itself. At this point, you may be wondering about these bands in the middle, the white bands in this bracelet, because I have not pointed them out yet. Now, what you're going to place next is going to end up being this band in the middle, these white bands. And so whichever band you want to be on the inside of your background, you're going to use it for this next step. I'm going to be using gray. So, taking your band, you're going to cap it like all the others, and you're going to place it across all 3 pegs. So you may need to place it across the first 2, and then pull it over to the others. And now is where we start looping for the first time. We're going to start by taking all 4 of these of our first color on this side, and notice that I'm just grabbing the colored bands. I'm not grabbing the white inner bands, and pull it over like that. And you're going to do the same thing on this side. Grab that capped band on the bottom. Make sure you just get those bottom 4 ends, and you're going to pull it over. Now at this point, what you're going to do is just grab all these bands on here and pull them on over. And make sure you don't pull anything off of these 2 pegs when you do that, but that just frees up this space so you can make your next little sequence part thing. Alright, so next we're going to do something that we've done twice before. This will be the 3rd time. Take whichever color is going to be on this side, and you're going to place the cap band on here. And if you haven't already noticed, all the bands in this bracelet are capped. So you're going to continue on placing another cap band here, and then again your outer color cap band, place it on here, and we're going to go inside this top cap band, grab this middle cap band, and carefully pull it back to itself. Do the same thing with this cap band, take it off, pull it back to itself. And now again we're going to take our inner background color, again I'm using gray, and we're going to cap it and place it across all 3 of these pegs. So you can just start with the first 2, then use your hook to help you get over to that 3rd one. Now we're going to bring up these bands as before, and make sure you don't get that gray band, just these bottom 4 ends of the orange band, or whatever colors you're using, and carefully, because they're pretty tight, pull them up and over. And same thing on this side, and make sure you're very gentle and kind of wiggle it a little bit to get it over, because you don't want the bands to snap. Alright, now again, now that we've got a white and a gray on here, we're going to pull that over just to get it out of our way. Next, we're going to take our colors again, orange and then black for the other side, remembering to cap all the bands, and then take your other band, place it on here, pull the middle cap band to itself, same thing on the other side, and now this time, as you can see, we've got 4 little sets of bands here. We've got the orange, and then we've got the gray, and then we've got another black and orange, and then a gray. And so every time we place another little set of bands on here, we're going to have 4, and you're just going to bring up whichever set is on the bottom. So in this case, our bottom set is the gray connector band, and you're going to pull that very carefully because it's very tight up and over on this side as well. Make sure you just get that gray band. And now we've got our orange and black bands on top, so we're going to place another one of our gray bands. And pull it across all 3 pegs. And as you can see, now we've got 4 sets again, and so we're going to bring up the bottom one, which is these black and orange bands. Pull them all up and over on each side. And now whenever you have 2 different sets of bands here, 4 ends of a band, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to just carefully pull those over to get them out of your way. So that's pretty much the sequence. I'll show it to you a few more times just to make sure you get the hang of it. For this set, take your colors and make cap bands. Place your other band in the middle and pull those back to themselves through this middle band. And now that you've got 4 sets here, you're just going to bring up the bottom one, this gray. And be very careful that your bands do not come off when you do that, like mine almost just did. So to prevent that, you can push down after each set. And now we need another gray band. So we're going to cap that and place it on here. And now we've got our 4 sets, so we're going to bring up the bottom one. And now we've got 4 bands here, so we can go ahead and pull them over as well. And now on this side, you're going to see a bunch of stuff kind of clustered up down here. What you want to do is take these bands on the bottom, just these 2 ends here, and these 2 ends here. They're going to be your colored bands, and you can pull that out, and you've got a nice little loop if you pulled the right bands out, and that's what you're going to use to clip this end once we get the bracelet long enough. So now you can just continue on with your pattern, your black and orange set, gray set, black and orange set, etc., until your bracelet is long enough to fit around your wrist. And then I will show you how to finish the bracelet. Once your bracelet is long enough to go around your wrist, you'll be ready to complete your bracelet. So, you should be at a point where you have the colored part in the middle and then a gray band on the top and on the bottom. So you should only have 3 bands. You should have just finished a sequence and brought over the excess bands. And if you're not in this position already, make sure that you get there. And once you're ready, you're going to take another one of your colors that is along the outside edge, and you're going to cap it and place it right here on this center peg. At this point, this is the only thing that should be on the center peg. And now what we're going to do is take this bottom band here, and you're going to pull it up and over, and do the same thing on the other side, like so. Now this is what you should have. You should have one black and orange set on the bottom, and then a gray cap band, or whatever color you're using, above that. And then you should have a cap band in the middle. That is your outside color. What you're going to do now is take your hook, go into this peg so that you get all of these bands, and you're going to very carefully take this off the loom. You can stick it way up there on your bracelet, on your hook, to hold it steady. And then you're going to spread this cap band over to the peg that we just took the bands off of, just using your fingers, or if you have another hook you can use that as well. And now we're going to carefully put these bands back on the peg that we just took them off of. Make sure you get them all back on, right how they were when you left them. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Go inside all the bands that are on this peg and pull it off. And make sure you got that nice and secure. And you're going to take your cap band, and you can use another hook if you have one. I'm just going to use my fingers to pull this cap band to the other side. So you should have a cap band across 3 pegs, and you're going to place these bands that you took off back where you got them from, back onto this peg, like so. And make sure to be very careful during that part because it can get tricky. And now what you're going to do is you're going to go into these bands right here, these top 6 band ends. Take this bottom band that you just placed under all these bands and pull it up and to the center peg. And do the same thing on the other side. Go in here, inside all the bands on that peg, carefully making sure not to take any of these bands off. Pull it up and through, and place it onto this center peg as well. For now, we're going to ignore these bottom 2 bands on this peg. We're going to grab our clip and just clip these top 4 ends up here. So don't clip these down here. You should go in to the middle of those bands so that you get those top 4 ends, and don't get those bottom 2 because you don't need them. Once you're sure that you've got all those securely on your hook, you can take all of these bands slowly and carefully off of your loom. Make sure to keep the bands that are on the clip so that it doesn't fall apart while you're trying to do this. And now, if all has gone well, you should have your completed bracelet. And now we can go back around here, and we've got this nice little circle here, and we're just going to clip all 4 ends, get all of those onto our clip, and there you have it, your completed accordion braid bracelet. I hope you guys like this video. Make sure to like and comment and subscribe for more awesome bracelets like this coming soon. Thanks for watching.